So did you set the business up?
No, it was a family business, and I worked with my father from the age of 19, and after 5 or 6 years working with my father, my wife said, you will fall out if you carry on working together. And she was right, so we moved to Stamford in Lincolnshire, where we carried on clock and watchmaking.
Is that your specialist thing, is it? I mean, do you have a
Well,
certain market?
we're well known for restoration of particularly antique British stuff, but all kinds of watches really. And it was, maybe more than 12 years ago now, we made a couple of watches for a bit of fun, and customers said, oh, you should do this. You know, if you made watches, people would buy them. And so it's turned out, and we went all out to make an entirely British made watch, which we can provide, and I don't believe there's another company in the country that can. And it's gone really, really well. It was a great decision to make.
Yeah.
So we still do a bit of restoration work on antique clocks and watches, but most of it is now watchmaking.
What's the link to equestrian then? How do you happen to be here today?
Well, Rockingham Horse Trials is relatively young at this venue. It used to be at Brigstock Manor, a few miles up the road. And when they moved here, it was almost like starting from scratch, and they wanted new sponsors for everything. And one of the guys here said, would you be interested in sponsoring us as timekeepers? And after much arm twisting, they said, would we give a watch as a prize for the rider with the closest to optimum cross-country time? And we sort of grudgingly said, oh, all right then, and 5 years later we're still doing it. It works really well for the business. We get to see a lot of people, some we know, some are new to us, and it's just a great venue for doing it. I love Rockingham because you get to see all the international stars riding round, maybe not on their finest horses, but they are the stars of the industry, and you're a few feet away from them. You can sit on a hay bale, they're inches away from you.
Exactly.
Whereas at the top events, you're always kept back, held back, cordoned away. Events like this, you really get to enjoy the sport.
Certainly access all areas as far as I'm concerned. You can
Very
get
much
everywhere,
so.
can't you?
Yeah, and you get really famous international riders wandering around having a cup of coffee and a tub of ice cream, especially in weather like today. It's perfect.
So, well, very good today. Well done
Thank
for
you.
sponsoring. It's always good to see somebody stepping forward and
Well, it's a great
making
pleasure.
the event better.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So wonderful win for John T with Cooley Rorke's Drift.
Very excited about it actually. Austin O'Connor is a good friend of mine, and he won the first one, so I was quite conscious of the prize, so I was aware of it, and I'm really delighted.
It's an exclusive club.
Yeah, very.
Fantastic. And there was about, what, a second in the winning place or something?
No, I think the young lady who finished third was on the same time as me.
Yeah.
But because I finished first in the class and she finished third, that topped the so I think there were two of us on the same time, but only a second over the optimum time, under the optimum time. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's incredibly hard to finish on zero.
It is.
It's incredibly hard. So no, really pleased. So we're delighted to be taking the watch home with us.